So while we're talking about having a potato, when I tell people, all right, no butter, no oil, no, they say, well, what am I going to eat it with? Because it's just a plain potato. I mean, how can we, because you're a chef,
My God. Oh,
how
okay.
can we
First
make
of
it
all,
taste good?
well, let me tell you, well, everybody's individual what they like, but my favorite condiment has always been barbecue sauce, not ketchup, not mustard, but barbecue sauce. So I take my potatoes and I put them in a machine called an air fryer where I don't need to add oil or salt and they are crispy. And I dip them into barbecue sauce. That's one way I do it. We love to make stuffed potatoes, either potatoes or sweet potatoes. And actually we had company last night and I have this thing called a lazy Susan, and people fill their potatoes with things like fire roasted corn and kidney beans or black beans or pinto beans and pico de gallo salsa and cilantro and jalapeno peppers if they want it a little bit spicy, and guacamole, either full fat guacamole or a guacamole that's made out of peas. And you make this delicious dish and out of potatoes. It's yummy, people, fat is very addictive, and that's why people like it, because here's one thing about caloric density. We have a neurotransmitter that's produced in the brain whenever we have a pleasurable experience like sex or food, and it's called dopamine. And the more calorically concentrated the calories, the more dopamine is released. So people love, high fat, high calorie food because you get more dopamine. Dr. Goldhammer talks about how sugar, oil, and salt aren't foods. They're chemicals people add to the food that fool the brain's satiety mechanisms. And so that's why people have this love affair with butter and cheese and oil, because of the high fat, high caloric density, more dopamine, that kind of thing. But as far as taste is concerned, there's so many things you can put on potatoes to make. I mean, ketchup is great, for example, and I make ketchup myself without sugar or salt. I make my own barbecue sauce. It's very easy to make. I use just 2 ingredients to make it. It's with sweet potato fries, though. I actually like mustard better. That's the one time mustard wins, is when I'm having sweet potato fries.